Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today with ESMT Berlin. My name is Martina, and I will be the moderator of this online session on behalf of the MBA and Master's selection platform, Unimi. The topic of today's webinar is the new Master's program at ESMT Berlin. This is the highest ranked business school in Germany and in top 10 in Europe, founded by 25 leading global companies. ESMT offers Master's, MBA, and PhD programs, as well as executive education on its campus in Berlin, in locations around the world, online, and in an online blended format. If you'd like to learn more, I will paste in the chat the official webpage of ESMT Berlin, as well as the school's profile on our website, Unimi, where you can do 2 quick tests and see how well the school culture fits with your own values. Let me now welcome our panelists, Rowan Seegers, he is a director of early career programs, and Agnes Horvath, she is a marketing manager. Your questions are more than welcome, so if you have any, please type them in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and at the end of the session, our panelists will take time to answer all of them. Now I'm giving the floor to you guys.
Thank you very much, Martina. Thank you for the Unimi team for this invitation. I would like to start with a few slides maybe, so our attendees can have an overview of what we do, who we are. So let me just quickly share my screen. Here we go. And just a second. So here we are. Can you see my screen? I hope so. Perfect. So let's start. First, I would like to talk a little bit about the school itself. Then we would discuss the key points and key focuses about the new master programs that we offer here at ESMT that are about to launch in September 2023. Then we would move to the career perspectives, what we can offer to our master graduates, admission requirement, a little bit about life on campus and life in Berlin and why should you join us here in beautiful Germany. Then a few more information about how to reach out to us, and then we move to the Q&A section with Roland. So who we are. Welcome to our campus. On the right side, you see our beautiful historical building, which is actually under monumental protection even. This used to be the headquarters of the State Council of the GDR back then. So this is a really impressive place to work at and an impressive place to study at. So we're literally in the heart of Berlin. Even our district is called the Mitte, which means the center or middle in German. Our school was founded in 2002, which means that we're 20 years old. And the school was founded on 3 main pillars, which is leadership, innovation, and analytics. These 3 pillars are also can be found also in our degree programs curricula. They are reflected in the curricula. As Martina has mentioned, our school, ESMT Berlin, is a business school that was founded by business. You can see our 25 international and multinational company founders on the bottom of this page. We are in touch with our founder companies. For example, the day before yesterday, we just had a lecture with the CEO of Lufthansa. The talk was very successful, very, very interesting. So you will also find it later on our YouTube channel. We are very proud of the fact that we were ranked as #1 in Germany and #7 in Europe in the latest Financial Times European Business School ranking. And we also belong to those institutions who hold the so-called Triple Crown accreditation. We're accredited by all these institutions and programs, which means that your degree will be recognized all over the world. And now let's jump into our programs, our master portfolio. As you might have known, we offer also MBA programs, executive MBA, as Martina has mentioned, but today we would like to focus only on these three programs that we offer and launch in September 2023. So the Master in Global Management program is previously known as Master in Management. We just received the latest ranking stats from Financial Times. We are very proud of it that we're #1 in Germany and #10 globally. This is a brand new breaking news for us. And here you have our two brand new master programs, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and Analytics and Artificial Intelligence. All of these three programs are full-time master programs. They last 2 years, and the programs are taught in English. This is our working language. So let's jump into further details. So first about the Master in Global Management. This is a program for those who aspire to lead in a modern and changing world. If you would like to work in general management later on, or as a strategy consultant in a leading position once you graduate, then this would be an interesting program for you. There are different key projects within this program that are definitely worth to mention. The first one is called Social Impact Project. This is a 4-month project with 5 weeks of field work, where our students are acting as consultants for non-for-profit organizations, social enterprises, or CSR departments. Basically, they've been, the last class was working on really cool projects from Bhutan till Colombia. We have a few project videos available on our YouTube channel. I highly recommend you to have a look at it. One of the groups, they were focusing on microfinance projects in Bhutan. The others were giving advice to a social enterprise who's working with refugees and creating beautiful leather products in Italy. In the Master in Global Management program, there are several options for international exchange as well. In a few slides, I will get back to this point. And there's also quite unique opportunity, which is called the Portfolio Management Program. Here, students have the opportunity to manage 1 million euro per team portfolio, either as investor or analyst. So basically, your newly gained knowledge, you can already implement it and put it into practice. And this is quite a rare opportunity, I would say, to deal with that kind of money as a student. So this is definitely something interesting. About your journey. We wanted to highlight a few courses in the curriculum. The whole timeline and the curriculum you will also find on our website, by the way, and you can also see an overview in the brochure. So feel free to download the brochure and have a look at our online platforms. So first, of course, the most important is to build a foundation so that everybody is on the same board. I will learn a lot about strategy, leadership, how to manage organizations, and economy as well. As you can see, we also offer courses and workshops for soft skills development. You will work on your writing skills, on your presentation skills, and so on. And finally, during the last 2 terms, you will have the opportunity to pick electives of your wish. Some of these electives are also cross-it electives, which means that you can have a peek into the other programs as well. And here you can definitely further refine your knowledge and your point of interest. So as mentioned before, there's an option for international exchange during these 2 years in the MGM program. So here you have an overview about our partner institutions all over the world. We're, thanks to our international office, we're happy to see that the number of the partner institutions are growing and growing. So just visit our website from time to time and see who we have on board as well. So now let's move to the next program that we offer, Innovation and Entrepreneurship. This is a very exciting project, which has a 14 months long development journey that is supported by our entrepreneurship hub, which is called Valley Berlin. So Valley Berlin will provide you not only with knowledge, but also with a huge network. Basically, they will support you from ideation of your own business idea until pitching to investors. So this program is for those who are interested in funding, who are interested in entrepreneurship, who would like to become maybe innovation consultants. Really interesting points that we offer within this program, I have to say. You can also join a consulting project with corporations and businesses working on in the field of innovation. So I think that what makes this program really unique is all that flexibility that it offers, and they can be really tailor-made in the end. So again, a little bit about the curriculum that we're planning. You can see you have lots of courses about innovation, the foundations, finance as well, and fintech, different regulations. But on the other hand, we also focus on the soft skills development, such as in the other master programs that we offer. You see that there will be a writing skills workshop, business presentation workshop, and so on. And just like in the MGM program here, you also have electives. This is how you finish the two years of the program. You can pick electives of your choice to refine your knowledge. Last but not least, the analytics and artificial intelligence program. Well, as we can clearly see every day, the future of business is data. Data is everywhere. So there's a big need for those who actually understand data and know how to work with tools in terms of data. So during this program, you will receive advanced coding and data management classes, such as in the MGM program. You can join the portfolio management program as well. And you will receive also a finance certificate at the end of the program. You will have the opportunity to do a consulting project focusing on analytics with real life businesses. So the foundations here, as I mentioned, definitely we are focusing on data and analysis. Machine learning basics are also in our curriculum, as you can see. Decision analysis. Here, soft skills are also important. Obviously, how to build a professional network, how to manage your time. And we're also closing up here with electives. People analytics, health analytics, value chain analytics, lots of interesting points. They're definitely looking to the future with this curriculum. As I said, if you're interested in the curriculum and the program itself, the timeline, then please visit the website. There's a tons of additional information there as well. We have a dedicated team at ESMT Berlin, a dedicated career services team. So now we pulled a few stats through them to see what is awaiting you after graduation from ESMT Berlin. As you can see, the 94% of our graduates are working in the EU, 78% of them are working in Germany. And we also mentioned a few hiring companies at the bottom of this page. We have a quite strong alumni network. You can also rely on them in terms of hunting for jobs. But I have to say that our career services team is really busy with providing all the opportunities for our students. They're organizing workshops about different topics. They are inviting alumni to give workshops and presentations. There are company presentations, there are company visits happening. So there's a lot going on in terms of careers at ESMT Berlin. So that's why we created this slide for you to see what kind of companies we have in our network and who participated at our latest career fair back in January 2022. So as you can see, we had quite a few stands, and we're really looking forward to the next event, which is going to be also in January next year. So a few sentences, a few thoughts about the requirements that we have for applicants, for master applicants. As you can see, the definitive requirement is to hold a bachelor degree of any subject. GMAT and GRE are not required, but they are recommended and highly recommended for the analytics and artificial intelligence program. Because there you really need to be comfortable with data. So there are obviously a few things that the admissions team would like to have a look at. Another important point is that you shouldn't have more than 18 months of full-time postgraduate work experience, which means that if you did an internship during your studies, during your bachelor, it does not count to these 18 months. We're only talking about the postgraduate experience. As I mentioned before, the programs are taught in English, so therefore English proficiency is definitely required. You will be asked to join us for an interview on campus or online. The tuition fee is the same for all three programs that I mentioned previously. It's 32,000 euros, but there are definitely scholarship opportunities that you can apply for in your online application. You see the list, you will see the list of scholarships on our website. And also there are different student loan opportunities that we listed online as well. So I highly recommend you to visit our website again. About the application journey, as I mentioned, the application, everything happening online. The admissions committee does not take a lot of time to give an answer to you, to give a decision. So we try to get back to you as soon as we can. Upon acceptance, the student services team is available for you, which means that they will be able to assist you with visa issues, with visa questions. It's especially important if you're coming outside of the European Union. So please reach out to the team later on. And also if you have any kind of relocation questions, then the student services is your team and your support. I wanted to talk a little bit about like how you should picture life on campus and what do we do. We have lots of student clubs and student initiatives, so that's why the campus is so active. We have, for example, an Entrepreneurship Club used to host hackathons in the past years. Then we have a Net Impact Club. They are focusing on sustainability issues. And we also have a Women in Leadership Club, a marketing club, consulting club. You can find everything on our website. And if you join us, then I highly recommend you to join these clubs. They're doing a great job. They are inviting business and industry representatives. So it's also a great opportunity for networking. Then we also have a corporate communications team who are organizing open lectures and master classes for anybody who's interested to join those events. So please sign up for our newsletter. I think that there are many interesting events coming up this fall. It will be really busy on campus. So you can also pop by and just have a look at the campus at the same time. On the right side, you see a few snippets from our social media platform. This is particularly from Instagram. We're pretty active on that platform and to show like a student life and life on campus. But our most important platform is LinkedIn, so please do follow us. We're also present on Twitter, on Facebook, and we have an ESMT student blog where you can find project examples for the social impact project, the portfolio management program, and all these kind of details that I might have mentioned already today. Berlin. Well, I could go on about Berlin for hours. I'm definitely in love with this city. Berlin is full of history, culture, music, good food. It's really international, just like our student body and just like our staff and faculty as well. This is an interesting place to study and experience. But last but not least, it's also very important that the cost of living is still relatively low if you compare those to expenses, for example, in bigger major Western European cities, Amsterdam, London, or Paris. The most important deadline that is date that is coming up is the 1st of November. This is when our applications will open up for these 3 master programs. So we definitely recommend you to apply early in order to secure a scholarship. That's definitely highly recommended. If you have any questions about anything that I just mentioned, or you have specific questions that you would like to clarify with somebody, you are always welcome to send us an email, admissions.degrees@esmt.org, or give us a call. We are also able to connect you with current enrolled students of ours, so that will give you also a special unique view about how things are working on our campus and how the master experience is at ESMT Berlin. So thank you very much for your attention. Now I will stop sharing my screen and I will invite Roland to join me for a discussion. Before we jump into the Q&A, I see that there are already a few Q&As, but I was wondering that maybe we can talk about a few interesting facts about these new master programs. I was wondering, where did the idea come from to come up with these 2 new specialized programs? And like, what do you think, why is this the right time to launch these programs? So Roland is basically the father of these new programs here at the ESMT, so he knows a lot about the background of these new programs.
Yeah, sure. Happy to share. Thanks, Agnes. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks everyone out there for listening in, chipping in, and for your interest in ESMT. Why are we doing this? I think it's fair to say that ESMT Berlin has a very strong and long tradition of working with customers, in that we were founded by companies and we've done a lot of executive education. So I think it's ingrained in our DNA to always listen to what is it that's really needed in the market. And by this, we mean speaking to the companies. What kind of talents do you need? What kind of skills do you need? What kind of challenges do you have that you need young, dynamic people to solve for you? And on the other hand, we speak with students to say, okay, what do you think you will need to learn? How should we structure our studies? And the feedback was crystal clear. We want customization options, right? We want to be able to build the learning journey that we have in mind for ourselves, because we're all very different. We all have very, very different backgrounds. We thrive in that kind of diversity. So what we're doing by this creation of 3 specialized masters is really to say, okay, here's 3 very distinct offers for 3 very distinct groups of people who have special careers in mind, special ideas for their future in mind. And why now? I think coming out of Corona, people are seeing how important their education is, right? It's actually a lifelong journey. It's your way to differentiate yourselves also from the many good bachelor graduates out there. So now feels the right moment, also when businesses and people and governments try to figure out what the new world is going to look like post-corona, right? The way we learn, the skills we need, the way we interact, everything has changed. So here comes, hopefully, our answer to some of those challenges.
What do you think, like, how does a perfect candidate for you looks like for these programs? If you think about, for example, the innovation and an entrepreneurship program.
Well, the good thing is, Agnes, there is no perfect candidate, and we say that with full conviction. We want a diverse group of people who can inspire each other. So we search for lots of different profiles, which on purpose will differ from each other. But still, I mean, if you ask me for a couple of sort of character traits of what you're looking for, I would say curious, creative, and capable. Curious is certainly what we most look for in the Master in Global Management, where we want people who are interested in exploring international cultures and how they can sort of make good decision-making and good teams in international business. Creative is certainly what we're searching for, especially in the Master in Innovation and Entrepreneurship, where we look for creative minds that can also have very non-business bachelor backgrounds, I would say, because we need in the creative process, you need people from all different angles, right? Who can actually inspire you and challenge you. And capable, I would say, especially for the Master in Analytics, also for the others though, we need a certain solid foundation of understanding how science shapes the world and how we see things and how we analyze things to then take the right business decisions. And specifically for the Master in Analytics, there should be a certain understanding of, mathematical concepts, coding, and such.
I see, thank you. I've actually just shortly managed to mention Valley Berlin. Can you please talk a little bit about how the cooperation with Valley looks like for our program, the Innovation and Entrepreneurship primarily? Sure.
Yeah, Valley is going to be super important for us. Valley have fantastic contacts into the Berlin-Brandenburg entrepreneurship ecosystem, which I'm being told by now is the most highly capitalized and most relevant in all of Europe, even in front of London and Paris, by the way. And what we try to create in the Master in Entrepreneurship is that at ESMT proper, we will take care of sort of the academic foundations, the concepts, what is innovation, how does it work, entrepreneurial finance, what do you need to know? But then Valley takes care of that 10 to 12 month experience piece, which will run as integral part of the studies right from year 1 through till the end of the program. So at different points in time during the program, we're going to send the students to Valley, which even has a completely different location in Berlin, where actually some of our startups are sitting, and actually work with some of those startups, with the network of Valley, to get that real exposure to the world of entrepreneurship. So students will be working alongside startups. They can also create their own startup as part of the journey in the study program, and the folks at Valley will really accompany them through all of the nitty-gritty, but all of the steps, and sort of create that creative environment to really make it happen. And then there's different programs. Corporate entrepreneurship program, there is an offer for an acceleration program. So Valley will take care of all of that kind of practice learning for us.
And the networking part is really important in that program. I mean, generally at ESMT, it's always been important, but definitely to connect with startups, representatives all over in Berlin, that's a unique opportunity. for sure.
Exactly.
It's a really vivid community and ecosystem that we have in Berlin. And on that note, I would like to just mention that on the 22nd of September, we're going to have a webinar with Badish Efe, who's the manager of Wally Berlin. And we will focus on these points as well that Roland has just mentioned, and the startup ecosystem in Berlin. So if you would like to join them, please sign up. You will find the link on our website as well. Speaking of networking, like how can students connect with future employers here at ESMT? What do we offer to our students?
So first of all, we have a fantastic career services team. You already mentioned that, Agnes, but I think it's worth mentioning. For those of you who heard that ESMT's current master program is also now ranked number 10 in the world as of 2 days ago. This is very much due to our career services team having made a fantastic job and actually assisting every student individually in understanding who am I, what are my interests, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses maybe, how do I need to work on myself, and most of all, what do I dream of, right? What do I need, and where do I want to go? So they accompany everyone along that journey. The full 2 years of the program, the careers team is there to then say, okay, we kind of understand what you have in mind. Let's refine that together. Let's reach out to people. Let us help you to understand how you approach people also professionally. And then you secure a great internship, or you actually participate in Wali's summer entrepreneurship program. That's in the middle of the program, up to 6 months. And then, of course, at the end, either you start up or you actually find a great job at one of the contexts that the career services team have created. So it's sort of a two-pronged approach. We have the career services team on the one side, and then we have the Wali network, which brings you into contact with all of those founders who search co-founders, or actually the accelerators, which search people for the scale-up phase, for phase 2 of operations. So that's really many different touch points that we're creating.
And I think maybe we can also mention our really strong alumni network. We're present in around 40 countries all over the world. So we definitely have a few contacts for you if you're interested in a few companies. Our alumni network, they also have a LinkedIn platform. You can reach out to them as well if you're interested. I'm just thinking, you know, like now that ESMT is turning 20 years old in the fall, and we managed to have all these programs running. It's really interesting to see, you know, the programs evolving and further developing. Why do you think, what makes ESMT special to you?
Many things. First of all, Berlin. I happen to be a Berliner myself. There's not so many of us here.
I have to say.
Exactly, that's absolutely right. So I'm super proud. Berlin is just a fantastic place. Of course, I'm biased entirely and totally, but Berlin is green. Berlin is relaxed. Berlin is all cultures. Berlin is even nice in the summer. But beyond that, you have this fantastic, growing, bustling network that's developing around us. Plus, the campus is right in the middle of it. So to my friends in France who are asking me, where are you working? I'm taking them, okay, picture Notre Dame, the island, that's where we are. So the cathedral is like 200 meters from here. So that's one thing, right? It's location. But then it is, I think, our young age and our comparatively small size actually make for a place which is still dreaming. You know, in a way, there's this ESMT family, which is fairly closely knit. If you come to us, you will pretty much get to know everyone fairly quickly, and you're not a number. Everyone here matters and is part of the community. And I think you can feel that. And for those of you who like that, I think this is really the place, because we're still able to look after everyone individually and look at what they need. And sort of it's not a mass production. And I think that's still fairly special. I mean, just to give you a number, I believe we have at any given time less than 800 degree seeking students in our program. So that's really small. And I think that's actually an asset.
Yeah, I think there's also what's special is that you can, as a student, it's quite easy to reach out to our faculty members. You know, like unlike big public institutions, it's really easy to have an appointment with them and discuss certain things. So I think that's definitely also an advantage of being a relatively small school. I'm looking at the questions at the same time, and somebody is asking what are the benefits of studying at ESMT. I think we mentioned a few, but like if you compare it with other business schools.
Sure. No, I can go for that. I mean, beyond what I just said, which is sort of the human touch and the interaction, there's also very hard facts. I mean, first of all, Germany is probably one of the best employment markets in Europe, maybe even in the world at the moment. It's also due to the fact that I'm a little bit sad to say that as German, but it's good for everyone who's coming here. Our demographics make us the oldest population in the world. So we desperately need talent from everywhere in the world because there's skilled labor shortage. So what this means is that the careers market is now a student market. Students or graduates can actually define the kinds of jobs that they want to have. That's a big asset. And then we have, I think, our success story in really being absolutely clear on the scientific and academic rigor of the institution, which has kind of contributed to us now being by far the most highly ranked institution in Germany, which then also says and signals to employers and to the market that the kind of qualification you're getting here is really worth its money. So that's, I think, some of the hard facts and some of the soft facts that should hopefully convince you to come here, plus the new curriculum.
Thank you, Roland. An anonymous attendee of ours is asking, how fast can an international student find a job in Germany, and how we support applicants in regarding their visa application. So visa applications, as I mentioned, the student services team is available for questions, especially if you're outside of the European Union. It might be a bit more tricky to get into Germany, but definitely not impossible. You just have to start the process relatively early on. So they can support you if you have any kind of special questions. And you could also see on one of the slides that most of our students are, actually 95-ish% of our students are master students staying here in Europe. So I think this is just a hard fact that it is possible, and we really encourage you to join us. Martina, if you would like to join us for the Q&A, anything interesting that you've seen in the Q&A section, then we're ready for you.
Thank you for this really informative session and for your discussion. It was really interesting. And I'm opening the Q&A box. One of the questions I'm reading right now, apart from scholarship, how ESMT supports its international students in context of part-time jobs, if there is.
Yeah. So this is a program which does not lend itself well to part-time jobs. I think on this one, we have to be crystal clear. This is a full-time study program, which is a hard study program. So you really have to work. Now, in year two, quite a few students do work part-time. We do not recommend it, but it is conceivable. If your profile actually allows it, we have other programs which are much, much better suited. The part-time MBA, the global online MBA, for example. Agnes knows more about this. So we have programs, but it's not our master programs. On this one, I think we should be very clear.
Which is also important to add that there's a certain number of limitations of how many hours are you allowed to work as a student if you're enrolled as a student in Germany. And maybe what might be interesting is that some of our new master programs, they offer internship opportunities. So many times internships in Germany are actually paid opportunities. So that might be also interesting for our students, I think.
Great, thank you for answering this one. There is a question regarding exchanges programs with other universities. Do you provide something like this for those 3 master's programs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good point. Agnes had one slide which we showed quickly, mostly for the Master in Global Management, with caveats also for the Master in Analytics. We have a fully fledged exchange network, and that's typically a full term, so 12 weeks roughly, that we can exchange. That's term 4 or term 3 in the second year. We're very careful in who we select as our partners. So at the moment we have roughly 12 partners, all of which are pretty much top 20 ranked Financial Times schools. Many of them are in Europe. That's also due to the fact that during Corona, exchanging more further afield was a little bit risky. So we're now rebuilding that network. So one of the partners which we just acquired last week, and that's why you don't find them on the website, is ISB in India, probably the best private business school in the entire India. So now we're also looking at places like the United States. I think you also don't have on the website another very new addition, which is University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, which is a great school. So so yes, it's absolutely possible. And in the Master in Global Management, it's even very much encouraged to apply to these destinations.
Great.
Our currently enrolled master students, they just headed out to these institutions actually last week or the week before. So, and we've just welcomed the incoming exchange students. So I think they're an interesting asset to everyday life on campus and the student experience.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Thank you so much. There is attendee, and the question is, can we go back to the main focus of each program? Maybe just to differentiate it with a couple of sentences one more time for those who just came up lately in the webinar.
Absolutely. Yeah, with pleasure. So Master in Global Management, that's really aimed at corporate international careers, such as the ones that founded ESMT, the Daimlers and Bosch and Siemens, etc. of this world, and also strategy consulting, McKinsey, Bain, BCG, these kinds of careers. That's what that program is aiming for. Master in Innovation and Entrepreneurship has 2 different targets. One is, of course, you want to start up yourself. This is the place to come. We give you the tools to network. Great. You have an idea or you want to develop an idea. And on the other side, corporate innovation, which is very important in the times of disruption. So corporate innovation can also be corporate innovation consultancy. All major companies have such departments now and need them also for the challenges of the future. And then the Master in Analytics and Artificial Intelligence is specifically creating that very important managerial role of translator between what technology can do and what is actually commercially viable. So we're searching for profiles who, yes, want to be managers, but understand enough of the data and all the possibilities and limitations also of artificial intelligence that they can actually create products out of that, right? So in German terms, you would call them Wirtschaftsingenieure. So really between being data engineers and managers.
Great. Thank you so much. And there is a question regarding Master of Analytics and IE program. What is the profile you're looking for?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we would certainly like to encourage applications from more quantitatively focused bachelor programs. Economics, could also be engineering, could be computer sciences. We would expect a basic, decent understanding of mathematical concepts. And what is highly recommended is that you do know some coding, specifically Python, potentially also R. You don't have to, but if you do not know anything about these concepts, you probably should, get prepared before the first lesson, because it really starts at a high level.
Great, thank you so much. One more question for the same person. What are the school classes that will help us to deal with the fast changing world for the Masters in Global Management program?
Yeah, lots of them. We have digital business transformation. We have the state of the world, which is even more of a political science kind of class. We have digital marketing, which is part of the learning, managing organizations in a global context, business leadership in society, and many, many more. I mean, it's really always looking at, okay, where's the world? Where's my contribution as a manager? So what do I need to understand about the big picture, but then also about myself and my role in making that happen?
Great. Thank you so much. And one more question regarding the sensitive situation surrounding the ongoing war. The person is asking if that's affected somehow student life in Berlin, if you have some.
Yeah, I'm assuming you mean the Russia-Ukraine war, because let's face it, unfortunately, there's even more wars in the world, which should not be forgotten. No, I mean, that's a couple of thousands of kilometers away. So the only way in which it has affected us is that we show a lot of solidarity with Ukrainian people, some of which have come to Berlin, but not in such numbers that it would, necessarily influence in any way the life here in Berlin. We're happy to just welcome them and help as we can. But in terms of security, I don't have the exact numbers, but I guess that that's like 3,000-4,000 kilometers to the east, so that's actually not around the corner.
Great. Thank you so much for answering. I believe that we have answered all of the questions. Of course, everyone, if you have more questions, please type them here or in the chat box. There is one more question. What is the best suited management course for a science background student? One more question.
The best suited management course, you mean from the 3 masters?
I believe, yes.
With what kind of background?
Science background student.
Okay. Any one of the 3, really. I mean, this comes back really to saying how diverse we want the class to be. If you have a science background, you will know methods, you will know data, perfect match for the master in analytics. Equally, if you know science, you probably know something about some great ideas that need to be commercialized and can become fantastic new ventures. Let's say maybe in life sciences and in health, perfect match for the master in entrepreneurship. And if you have a sciences background, there's great international companies out there like BASF in chemistry or Bayer, for example, who need profiles like yourself, who know science but also know business. So it's a perfect match for all 3. Great.
Thank you so much one more time. I believe that we have answered all of the questions by now. I would like to thank both of you for sharing your time with us today, for giving this really valuable information to all of the attendees. So all of you, we will receive a recording of this session later on. So please stay tuned for more. Thanks to everyone who attended this webinar. We hope it was helpful to make your decision about applying at ESMT. On behalf of our team, I would like to wish success in your academic journey, and I'm looking forward to see you again soon.
Thanks, Martina. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye for now.